We don't need any fancy scripts. That's not who we are. It's not what we do. We don't do this. Gentlemen, I have to put on the glasses.
Nice.
We
blue
blockers. Calling in the
blockers.
session the very first and only security halt state of the nation, state of the union.
That's how cool he is.
That's what we're doing. Yeah, State of the Union.
Yes.
Our podcast is doing great. We're doing great, but the American people are suffering. We have to fix it. There are a lot of things we have to fix in this country, and only we can fix it. Only we can fix this. First thing on the docket is our national deficit. We are up to how much, Greg? 31
cents.
31. No, the national debt.
Yeah, that's what the president
trillion?
said.
Oh, no.
No, it's like 31.5 trillion, something like that.
So,
but you're missing the big thing. So we're just going to reset the
clock.
Economy. It'll be
just
okay.
reset the clock.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to go to crypto.
Everyone hated Trump, but we're going to do what he has done hundreds of times. We're just going to file bankruptcy.
Yep, it works. All we have to do is, as a nation in unison at once, we all declare bankruptcy. That's how it works, baby.
Yeah. I mean, that's we're hard.
Chapter 7 and 13 crews unite.
But the ruse is what? Like, they're saying, hey, they're going to try a digital currency. So it's already started. It's in New York. There's banks that are already accepting it. They're like, they're trialing it. No, it's already in action. And then they're just going to greenlight that after they finish harpooning Bitcoin, and people lose millions and millions of dollars and ask the government to regulate it.
Sam Bankman-Fried. Thank you.
Yeah,
he led the way for all of us to get pwned.
Yeah,
ever
the biggest Ponzi scheme in human history. And the thing is, I don't think it was totally that, but I think and I know shit about finance, man. My boss is a certified account, CPA, whatever, but like he's solid, so he kind of explains stuff to me. But like I kind of like, I feel like that's just what it is. He's like, yep, that's I'll explain the macro side to you, but that's what's going on. And you're just like, oh wow, man. I mean, it's just people screaming for help. I know what is it, Myers is doing a lot of, or was at one point doing a lot of, hey, invest in this. And I'm like, dude, one, like my belief is if I don't understand it, I won't do it. Two,
I don't know,
like,
man. I don't think there's anything that man could talk me into investing. Like, I don't.
I'm not going to do Facebook investments. I'm sorry. Like, it's
there's a lot of bullshit out there.
It's e-cheese.
Like even on the crypto side, legitimately, there was a lot of I don't know. It's a lot of preying on people that just want that leg up. They just want to be able to not stress.
Dude, they've shown their trick. There's a vast percentage of young professionals that what they do now is they come up with the latest e-token, and they get so-and-so to fucking support it and say like, hey, look, this is the wave of the future. Pump and dump that motherfucker. And then they pull their money, and fucking old Jimmy Smickles from Western Ontario gets fucked.
Yeah. Legitimate Ponzi. Well, I'll say it's like a legitimate Ponzi deal, but think of all of our, I mean, I didn't do it, but like the high-speed contracting vet buddies that made tons of money. Good for them, high-risk investment, made a lot of cash, and they were smart with it. And again, I think a lot of it was legitimate. I think it was basically fair trade, and it was kind of a bartering system, more or less, with this stuff. But now I personally feel like it was a straw house built to be exposed at some point and everybody lose everything. Maybe not, but that's kind of how my feel is. But I think these guys really believed in it, saw real fruit, and it was a real thing. But it was just designed.
But what are the
when the team
even for the deficit? Like, what are the main areas that they're looking at taking funds out of to try and control this thing? It's like the post office retirement fund and like shit like that. Social Security, disability. Like that's like they're like who needs it the most? Fuck them. Just.
The most hilarious thing for me is like Biden and his administration is always like, we're here to make the 1% pay their fair share. And the entire time now, it's the 1% that's like constantly getting more rich.
Yeah, like even over the pandemic, bro, they claimed like well over 60% of all the increase in wealth was all to the 1%. Yeah. Like that's it's been ridiculous, that everybody. I mean, shit, man. There's just so much like that. That one's so hard to go down because there's so much shit.
But hey, at least people are. Ooh, wait. We'll edit that part out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this we can chop whatever we need to.
Come on over,
magic of editing.
But the stuff I'm listening to, man, and it's some cool stuff. It's definitely there's a bias, and I'm okay with that personally. But I don't understand the people that believe there's a benefit for everybody in this. I mean, there hasn't been ever. It's never been a fair game. You've got a demographic of people that just kind of swallow anything that I'll say the left is selling.
The whole game is rigged.
Thing. I mean, it's not. It's as much as I grew up and it was like, it's just the left. Mm-hmm. No, it's everybody. And I don't think Trump was a golden ticket. I think he exposed some stuff because he was a third party. But the reality is, man, it's a corrupt system, and unless we're willing to hurt, we're not going to make it better. And just look how stupid everybody, every single one of us, me included, we're all stupid. Because right now we had this whole.
Oh, we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah, we'll get to the balloons.
But now they're like, we don't believe China was involved at all.
Yeah.
I mean, like you literally had communication from China saying, "Hey, don't shoot our shit down," and now we're like, "Nah, it wasn't China. It wasn't China the whole time." And the thing is a large part of the population believes that now. And like, I know we'll hit on this too, but like I'm 5 hours from.
Yep. We're talking about that one too today.
My wife has no idea what I'm talking about. Like nobody here does. I mean, my boss was like telling me about it because he's kind of the same worldview I am. I talked to my dad. He works. So I just got off the phone with my mom and dad. My dad works for Norfolk Southern. They're the ones that had the spill. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, like, it's a line. So he starts in South Bend, which is, northeast Indiana. He runs to Chicago. But basically, that's where they go to Chicago or they go to Ohio. So he does the left side of it. This is the right end. And to be like, I don't know what's going on there. It's like, that is crazy. But the other part I missed is, so I heard about it Monday. I was actually thinking about going to
wait a while.
Anniversary this weekend.
Survey says
that's a great place. Take a Brita filter with you.
Might need more.
But
NBC
dude,
suit.
That happened 11. Yeah. It happened 11 days.
It's been a minute since that happened,
and that's what's killing me is like I'm just seeing the info on. Like I heard about it Monday. I was
but
like,
that's not even the only one.
No, dude.
That's the thing. But and don't go down to Google yet. We're gonna talk about that later, Greg.
It's a separate tab. I'm preparing while we're talking about it.
You prepare when I say you can.
But I think the look at the World Economics, whatever the World Economic Forum. I mean, they're the ones calling the shots. They passed some shitty. I think it's supposed to kick off in May. So, anyways, like my worldview is, hey, they talk about pharmacy is going to be this great deception, and I think I've heard a lot of cool stuff, whether it's like drugs or whatever. But there's this really cool thing where the World Economic Forum just voted to let the WHO have sovereignty over all nations. I think starting in May. So the WHO can declare a pandemic and regulations for sovereign nations, regardless of what. So they could say, "Hey, America, you have a pandemic right now, and nobody could be sick." And our country would be like, "Yep, you're right. What do we need to do?"
It's like a gaslighting, abusive husband. You're sick, Martha.
Absolutely.
You're sick.
And you just had the warning shot because Gates was like, "Hey, look out!" Or was it New Zealand or Australia? He's like, "The next COVID pandemic's going to hit you guys, and it's going to be man-made. It's going to be 5 times worse."
Well, we'll pause there real quick. And the Prime Minister of New Zealand. Do you remember when she first came into office? Remember how beautiful, elegant she looked?
Does she look
looks
aged?
like a fucking zombie right now. Greg, pull that beautiful bean footage right now. That woman, if you Google what does it look like when the life's been sucked out of a human being, she pops up. Like it's like a cadaver. It's like they roll out a zombie cadaver every time. Well, here in New Zealand, we like to take all the precautions we need to. And it's like,
they have a new one now.
Please
Chris
tell me his name is
Hipkins.
Xerxes.
It's Chris Hipkins.
It's like it's like
he's 4'7". He doesn't wear shoes.
Life?
No.
And he has very hairy feet.
It's a fucking hobbit. Great. they fucking put a hobbit in office. Come on, Mr. Frodo.
Oh my God, man. She really did like that.
Right?
How she was like young, vibrant, and full of life. And it's like at the end, it's just like it's Skeletor with long hair.
100%. 100%.
They're trying so hard to seal us. I do want to say this. I'm super excited about this assessment, but Staff General Mark Milley says Russia lost strategically, operationally, and tactically. It's over. And I'm like, dude, I appreciate his expertise on all Mark. Things combat. Like, I mean, I saw that and I was like, fucking amazing guy right there.
Not that he's suckling at the teats of the war machine at all. At all.
Dude, and all they wanted, they just want to live, man. Like, I think New Zealand, I think it's all they'll do anything so they can secure their seat on that 1% ride, man. I think that's all anybody's doing. But like, there's crazy shit.
Moldova, like, they're trying to get into the UN, or not UN. God damn it. You stupid boy. You mean NATO. I'm gonna have to edit this for TBI.
More importantly for Moldova,
I think they're in.
They actually had to shut down one of their. They had to shut down some airspace because they had a report of a balloon-like object. Everybody. Now it's like, even when you get caught, can't escape them. Having sex with somebody, aka cheating on somebody, and you're trying to wash your dick desperately in the sink to hide the scent of treachery.
I don't, but that sounds like
wait, that's oddly familiar. That just seems like it's such a like the way to obscure everything right now is to say that there's a balloon or unidentified object. Oh shit! Quickly, no.
But the bigger shit is they almost had a full on coup. Like there's there's like big shit going on. And there's
sabotage. Yeah, it is. So Russia wants to keep them from joining
anybody.
The way they're going to do that is by sabotage and subterfuge, by utilizing unconventional warfare to send in individuals to cause a ruckus in Moldova in order to overthrow their president and put in somebody that is pro-Russia. And their current president went on like national TV and went and pleaded her case to the World Forum and was like, please, we need your help because Russia's going to totally come in here and fuck shit up. And everybody's like, nah, they're not going to do anything.
Did you hear about that sweet Zoom call with the Ukrainians? So I love Telegram. You see so many fun things, and they're like, "This happened," and you're like, "Did it?" And then you get to see it. But so a bunch of Ukrainian bureaucrats were on a Zoom call with Moscow, and they were talking about. I mean, they're fucking over their country, and so some asshat just jumped on there and goes, "Hey, I'm screenshotting this. We have all your faces. You're going to be tried as traitors." And it's just a bunch of like 40-something-year-old adults like, and then trying to close. So they're like blasting the Ukrainian national anthem. And next thing you know, they start cleaning house and government. They start firing everybody. And it's like, dude,
but
they've
it's had crazy. Like it's nonstop game of corrupt officials in that country for a long time.
No.
Yeah. Even though the New York Times wants to say never been corrupt from your own He's an amazing pages, guy. New York Times came from your, or was it and Washington Post as well. So
and it was like literally like, I'm going to cite this source.
Where'd you learn to smoke drugs? I learned it from you. But yeah, so because TVI, we got way off topic. So 31 trillion, this is how we settle the deficit. We print more money. That issue's taken care of. You're welcome.
Yeah, have you ever played Monopoly and all the money's out? And then you
just use that money.
Game of Monopoly and you just dump it into the box.
I've got 8.
Or Axis and Allies.
Yeah. Or
I do that all the time.
Or you print your own money. I like to do it all.
Yeah. Or you reject everybody else's money and you're like, it's Strobel bucks now. Fuck you guys. Or you draw a picture of like your ball sack teabagging somebody, and you're like, look, this is worth $5,000
NFTs.
If you buy this, you will control. You don't need to keep it. I keep it. And I'm
actually
making copies,
everyone can get a copy of it, but you're going to pay for it.
And it's called a non-fungible token.
Yeah.
So Tris, the deficit has been solved. We did it here. You heard from us first here at Security Halt. Next up is
what if we sold trade secrets?
That can happen.
And like classified documents, like we auctioned off, like, you want to know about the JFK thing? Auction starts at 1 trillion.
But like, we can only do it with like nefarious nations.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Man, there's no market in that. We missed out when the Clintons sold our stealth technology to China in the 90s.
Next on the docket, was the sun?
Oh, the sun is exploding.
You know, that's part of the State of the Union. The sun is exploding. The sun literally blew off its top.
It does that.
Blew its top off. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
It's a very angry sun.
Now, you guys say it was the sun. I say it was Star Killer Base.
How is it that nobody is like, mildly like a chunk of the sun blew off into space?
Yeah. Well, the first article I saw was like, oh, yeah, like this huge chunk came out and there's solar storms expected in like 2 days. And then I looked at the article time frame and I was like, oh, shit, this article's 2 days old. It's like,
so at what point do we send Ben Affleck or Casey Affleck, since I don't know if we can afford a Ben Affleck, and then Bruce Willis? Well, no, Bruce Willis is mentally retarded now, so we can't send Bruce Willis. So it's Casey Affleck and
actually, isn't that kind of a
perfect
time to send him?
He's an agile
go do
icon.
something in space. Save us.
I showed my kids a clip from Armageddon, and my middle kid is awesome. She's a lot like me, and we're just kind of no nonsense asshats half the time. And she goes, "Why would they send minors to space when they could just train astronauts?" And it's like, shh, like you're gonna destroy the magic, like. And then she's like, "This is just stupid." It's like, it is in the end.
You're now entering the Security Halt segue moment. Segue moment.
Ooh, yeah. Now you're a man.
Now we're on an Armageddon segue. Let me tell you this. How did that movie make fucking sense? Damn it. We all know astronauts are too smart to understand drilling. We need actual rigs.
I think it was a counter global warming effort that, whereas we assume that oil is destroying the planet, the only people that can actually save the planet when the time comes are oil drillers. That's how this works.
I just wish they would have used real people from real oil rigs. Yeah.
Braden and sure.
Just want to see
what in the fucking fuck do you fucking think? Fuck!
6'2" fucking yoked out, pot belly, Texan.
Yoked out. Try coked out. They're not yoked. They're coked.
Hey, man, I tell you what, man, you gotta drive that drill right deep down that meter at man.
Hey, they load up that cocaine.
I think the real question is how did we host 2 asteroid movies at the same time? Not only do we have Armageddon, at the same time we also hosted Deep Impact.
That is a good one.
Like we doubled down on that shit. Like we were like, asteroids, that's what's going to kill us. And we just saw the asteroid this week, right? It hit the skies right outside of France. Good thing. It was not that impressive. But
yet in that time frame, in that year, we thought that asteroids were going to be the greatest box office hit. Elijah Wood is now forever in history, going to be remembered as the little wimpiest fucking douche ever in that movie. I love her. We got to get married.
I feel like he redeemed himself.
Yeah, he took the one ring to Mordor. I got it. But let's go back. And the rest of the ensemble. Let me tell you.
You think from that movie he would have learned to just jump on a dirt bike as Frodo?
Oh, God, idiot. Dude, seriously. I think that's what Gandalf tried to say to them. Ride
Fly on the Yamaha, you fools.
Dude. But yeah, going back to Deep Impact, God, that movie fucking sucks.
Why are we talking about my mom again?
It sucks in a good way. The whole cast. Tia Leone as a no nonsense news reporter.
Is that Lawrence
Fishburne?
Yeah.
Was he?
I believe so.
Yeah, because no, not Lawrence Fishburne. It was
No.
Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, he's a president, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah, because he's like, we will rebuild, and he's standing at the fucking destroyed, everything.
Everything's fucking flooded.
Rebuild?
But you know what?
It's almost as bad as
That's a perfect time to have Morgan Freeman.
Materials. We will rebuild stronger.
That's a perfect example of Biden. We'll rebuild the economy. Just print more money.
Okay, Deep Impact redone. You know they're going to. In a few more years, they're going to retcon that movie. And then, of course, gender swapped everybody on there.
I think we're about due for the late 90s redos. Because, I mean, we've knocked out most of the 80s. We've branched into the early 90s. So, yeah, we're getting to Deep Impact range.
Yeah.
For remakes.
Appropriate.
And Elijah Wood still looks the same. He can play the same fucking part.
If you look at the Mayan calendar, it's predicted when we will actually redo Deep Impact, and it's this year or next.
Yeah.
Plus or minus 2 months.
I want to see Elijah Wood do a Daniel Radcliffe biopic.
I want to see Elijah Wood
amazing.
Do Daniel Radcliffe.
I'd pay.
I think they would make that happen. I don't think they'd.
I'd pay.
They wouldn't be opposed.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Like, what if it was straight up like Harry?
I just want to see this.
It's like a fucking Harry Potter versus fucking Frodo Baggins.
When both those movies become public domain, I'm making that script. This summer.
There's nothing stopping us from making the script now.
From the band that brought you Warehouse.
Blood and honey.
All right. Look, this is a controversial thing. Hear me out. And I am going to bring this exact scenario up in at least 3 other podcasts that I will be guest starring or our other podcasts that we do. I laughed at this concept for entirely too long, and my wife says that I was an idiot for laughing so damn hard. Okay.
So we're probably going to laugh pretty hard.
I hope you do. Okay. I got to take a deep breath. This is segue number 2. Okay. Universal Studios has been plagued by tons of issues with their franchise movies from the yesteryear. The Mummy, Dracula, all these movies they've tried to retcon or try to re-release, and they just don't take. I have an answer for that. We have to look at things like Werewolf, the Swamp Man, and all these different characters. We have to re-envision them for today's audience. A simple werewolf isn't going to do it. Dracula doesn't scare anyone anymore. But gentlemen, I have a new concept. We'll start with an origin movie with the hero of the team. Instead of the werewolf, we go with Warehouse.
Jeffree Star.
No, I'll have to edit that now. Instead of werewolf, we go with Warehouse. That's right. Follow me through this. A mild-mannered man has been cursed by a native Mexican witch shaman person, the capability to transform into a warehouse, sort of like a werewolf, but a warehouse. Every full moon, he has to find a secluded neighborhood or housing subdivision because he will transform.
I think we have the platform. No, it's a house. This is valid. No, it's a warehouse. Because
he's a man that turns into a house. Warehouse.
No, you don't know. There's a foundation for this movie. There's a movie we can remake into this.
That's where I got the original idea from. So it's sort of
that's it. Warehouse is Monster House re-envisioned. We'll get Mindy Kaling to do the voice. It'll be super snarky.
But see, and I like awesome. That, but hear me out. he's a mild-mannered man on vacation in Tijuana.
Mm-hmm.
He does something to spur and anger an old Mexican shaman lady, and she curses him him to a life of having to hide himself every full moon until he does something. I can't fill that out in my mind.
He returns the donkey that he stole from her show.
He speaks poor gringo Spanish, where he's like, "Can I get the polo con arroz?" And she's like, "You know what? Fuck you, guy." And then he gets a splinter while he's leaving, and that splinter is in fact what carries the wear effect,
and now
the wear
it becomes
effect and
warehouse.
the warehouse.
Every full moon, he has to find a vacant lot because
muchas gracias for this great food.
Stupid motherfucker! Now you will be a house cursed in a failing economy.
And her restaurant's called like Casa de Abuela, and it's like Casa
the only
Abuela.
The only
I
way
love this place.
He can cure the curse is by doing a cash out refinance on himself.
I also
was thinking somewhere along the lines of he has to become a trap house for fucking 90 days. You know,
I'm thinking he has to burn her house down. Just because I just want to see this elderly woman with a large family running a restaurant out of her home, and the only redemption for him is to burn down her house.
But since he is in fact the house, every time he starts to set up the actual loan process, when they go to inspect it, it's an abandoned lot. All right. I think I burned enough viewers' brain cells. So back.
So you'll have to edit this, but that reminds me of Didio's, was it the bipolar bear? And then the she manatee.
That's part of the team. Dude, and shit! I forgot to give the rest of the team.
Creature of the Black Lagoon is the she manatee. I don't know how we'll work the bipolar bear in there, but
see, Dadcula is another patent pending. I'm really married to this concept. He is a man who has been infected by the dad virus, which makes him a prime carrier. If he bites you, you instantly become a single dad. You will morph into a white man, pudgy body, New Balance sneakers and cargo shorts, and you will have to control the thermostat in every setting.
There's a really good modern message too that you can work into there. So you can talk about how the Egyptians were the first culture that had transgender people because they turned daddies into mummies.
Well, you gotta love the next character, sort of like the mummy, except it's cummy. You can pretty much guess what he's covered in. An ancient embalming technique.
Yeah, it's Greg.
Said to preserve life.
I mean, when that stuff solidifies, it's like glue. So, I had some complaints this last weekend.
Walking around, just dripping nonstop and anger.
It's like his face is stuck. It's like glue. It's in his eyes. And he's like,
So you have warehouse. You have the cubby and Dadcula. And she manatee.
and the she manatee from the Black Lagoon.
Her name was Brittany Lynn, an Alabama lady, classy lady, fell into a what do they call those retention ponds? A pond.
I actually know Brittany Lynn. Can we change the name?
She was a YouTube vlogger who was documenting her weight loss journey. And then she fought an alligator for a pork chop and became the she manatee.
After angering the god of the retention pond. You have disturbed my slumber.
Who is some kind of Florida deity.
The original.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's wild segue and rant is brought to you by Triple Nickel. If you're looking for some awesome clothing and awesome hats and sweet shirts like this, go to triplenickel.com and get some sweet new swag. And while you're there on checkout, use our code for 10% off. What's the code? I'll tell you the code. Or better yet, Greg, what's that code?
Security Halt Podcast.
Now back to our regular scheduled programming. All right, going back to the State of the Union, the next thing we need to talk about are balloons. Or are they UFOs?
I'm really anxious to get to trains. Can we just jump to the trains first?
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting two and two together here.
We'll go back to... We're going back. We're going to talk about trains now.
Greg.
Yeah.
So
Greg loves trains.
so I'm just perusing.
Yeah.
Perusing the internets, right? We've had more than a dozen trains derail.
Wait. Did you type in Palestinian train? Because that will bring up a whole different sub.
Nope. I just put train derailments. I just want to, So
Mia Khalifa.
So hear me out. Hear me out.
Yeah.
We've had more than a dozen trains derail.
Yep.
Just this year, right? And then there's another article that just came out 5 hours ago saying that Putin refuses to fly and will only travel by armored train. I think it's an inside job. I think we're practicing on our own trains before we attack his train. Thoughts?
Yeah, that would be the dumbest fucking thing.
Are you going to put it past us?
Yes, I would.
I would 100% find trains that we should practice on. We have trains.
That would be the single dumbest fucking thing.
Ohio looks like Russia.
Gentlemen.
Fuck us right there.
We have to strike Putin's mega train. How are we going to practice? There's a place we can practice. A state so fucking wretched that no one would ever dare live in it. Ohio.
And nobody's questioned shit so far.
Ooh,
they were right.
It's like the moment that shit derailed, they're like, look, balloons.
Balloons.
Shoot them down with the fucking F-22s.
What do we do this hazardous chemical?
In order to make sure it doesn't explode, we have to light it on fire. Dude, look up the pictures of what it's doing to the cars that are driving through it.
To keep it from
dude,
exploding.
It's fucking... Man. Okay, another B-list movie from the 90s, Dante's Peak.
Oh, that was a great one.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
The Acid Lake part of that movie, it's starting to be like that there. When it rains, the cars are fucking being devoured by acid.
That's actually Ohio normally, but I understand the confusion.
Go Buckeyes. O-H. Hi-O.
Dude, the pictures of the fires that they lit are fucking wild, though.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, you're talking massive plumes of just chemical.
Dude, and just the press, what do you want to call that? Censoring, the ability to stop anyone from. I mean, it's just weird, man. There's just.
Oh, who's the guy that's in charge of our nation's infrastructure? Pete
Buttigieg.
Pete Buttigieg.
Buttigieg. He was the mayor of South Bend about 30 minutes from where I'm at right now.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, he gentrified the shit out of that city. Increased property values by
plowing
all the homeless people's homes.
You know?
Yeah. 1%. One of the one.
Pete, what are you doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? This dude had a press conference and he's talking about equity. Yeah, equity in construction. He's like, we got to make sure that the people doing the construction look like the people in the neighborhood. And I'm like, what? Dude, what the fuck are you talking about? Anybody can get that. Nobody is like trying to actively like, hey, I'm sorry. We are not. Dude, that's like, go ahead.
The people that do construction in Indiana are probably a lot of migrant workers who do a hell of a job. There's a lot of minorities that go to that because it's skill based, and we put a lot of value on college and probably overvalued it. So a lot of middle class people abandon trades. So if you want to make everybody doing construction in my neighborhood look white, I'd rather that not happen. Because
let me tell you something.
That would suck.
The people that are busting their asses building the infrastructure in this country are looking for the work and they want the jobs. It's not a place where people are being held and be like, no, sorry, you can't work here. It's more like, holy fucking shit, you want to work and do this? Fuck yeah, we'll take you. Come on in, let's go. Like, there's a shortage for trade jobs, a huge shortage.
And in this environment, I think that's probably going to be one of the least divisive groups of people, because they're tradespeople working their ass off to make money. And like you said, they just want people that are going to share the burden and go. So the fact that it almost seems like we're trying to start some shit there. It's just like, what's
absolutely. I don't understand why we can't look at reality and say, this is the real world. Look, this is what we're really dealing with. Like, this is the reality of the situation. Like, if you really want to see who's building your homes, who's building your bridges, go pay attention. Like, there's a huge project going on here, doing new telecommunication wires, putting in new gas lines, and it doesn't look like what Pete is saying, because the entire crew is mixed. It's not like, dude, it is not at all what he was trying to say, that it's like, it's a very whitewashed. No, dude, it's a very, very, very mixed demographic of people working. And that's just in my little friggin' neck of the woods. And when you go look at some of these new development areas, look at the people doing the work. Look at the people actually building the homes, doing the work, and do it. Go look for yourself.
And if you have a problem with the people that are getting the contracts because of demographic, which could be, I don't know, maybe there's an argument there. I mean, the government's the one that's controlling who gets the contract.
Yeah, Pete.
So
ultimately, whose fault is it? I think it's your fault, Pete. Yeah. You need to do some soul searching. Maybe take a week off, go with your husband, find a nice little cabin, hang out, drink a little wine, relax. Not be so tense. Maybe in Ohio. Maybe go fishing.
Maybe, yeah. They got a new spa.
It's a great place in Palestine, Pete.
Ever had chloride flush out your sinuses?
Dude, as soon as I saw like the chemical like devastation, the first thing that came to my head was that part in RoboCop where the dude gets like pushed into the vat of toxic waste and he comes out and he's melting and shit. That right now is like a 15-year-old walking in the streets of Palestine, Ohio. Help me!
Yeah. Palestine is a rough,
and now it matches the real Palestine
in Ohio.
Minus the
actually, they'd probably
people are stuck there.
Some of them would probably rather move to the real Palestine.
Bargatage.
Gauge.
But the gauge.
We're literally spending a minute just saying buddy gauge.
I know you gauge your ears.
And now for a new segment, how to say buddy gauge.
That's the part that's going to trend the best.
Probably have to cut this too, but it won't be anything about Paul saying he's
leaving it up there. Leaving it up there, Pete. Leaving it up there. Moving on from trains, planes, and automobiles to balloons. Pete Buddy. Yeah.
What's the kill count for?
Let me tell you guys.
I thought it was 5. I thought we're at 5.
We might be at 5.
Oh my gosh.
How many balloons have we killed? Because we're not just shooting them down; we're killing these fucking things.
So let me share that video games have shaped our youth for modern warfare. We saw that in the 80s. We all saw The Last Starfighter. I grew up playing Call of Duty and Medal of Honor, and that was very much the combat I went into. Wyatt spends hours a day playing Balloon Tower Defense, and I was like, oh my gosh. He saw it. Nobody else saw it. I thought Ender's Game was revolutionary. Balloon Tower Defense. Monkeys throwing darts at balloons.
You're going to wake up tonight at midnight to a knock on the door. You got to go down there.
Friggin' Blackhawk landed on the asphalt. We need her son. He's got the high score.
The stereotypical 80s general chomping on a cigar. All right, dear Pa Scoble. How's it going, Major General Buddy Geezy?
in the worst Armageddon throwback, they're going to look at him. All 10 years old. Hey, kid, can you fly an F-22? No, sir. Don't worry. That's the easy part of the train as long as you can
These
take
are
out
the
a
new
balloon.
XM9 darts.
Yeah.
We've only been able to get an ape to throw
$250 million per dart, and you don't waste them.
I've seen the way you level up and shoot tax, kid.
We got to get you to train your team. This is JoJo. This is Chim Chim. And this right here is your ace. Mr. Cuddles.
I just see
Mr.
him like
Cuddles.
watching the screen. He turns down the sound so he doesn't have to hear the tax blowing up the balloons. And he plays the YouTube video. And I can just see him kind of, watching the YouTube video and playing and just monkeys going down left and right. And then they're like, you did it, kid. You won. And he's like, yeah. And they all start celebrating and popping champagne. And he's like, wow, it was just a simulation. And somebody turns real slowly.
Yeah.
No, son, you saved the world.
The human race.
And you just see his little heartbreak as he realizes all the chimpanzees he sent to their death. I thought it was a simulation.
What about Mr.
I thought it was
Biggles?
a simulation.
General takes off his hat.
Yeah.
A necessary loss.
He died a hero, kid.
It's gotta be like that scene in Independence Day. Where Animal
Dude.
Mother got to console Dennis Quaid's kid. Your dad was a hero.
Dude, it's going to be like Ender's Game when Harrison Ford walks into that kid standing on the platform.
The worst fear I have when we're mixing these together in the Ender's Game is where the kid starts, fucking a chimpanzee to repopulate. All right. Because that's the next step. That's the next step.
I just see him blowing up balloons.
Oh, God.
He wasn't worried
God.
about the balloons in your story, Paul. He was upset about the chimpanzees.
Yeah. Ender's Game.
No, he cared about the aliens they wiped out. That's what he brought back.
Yep. Oh, Ender's Game. Fuck, that movie sucked.
But the book was fucking amazing.
Dude,
book was good.
The story,
movie
though.
sucked donkey dicks. Oh, God.
Hollywood can really fuck up a book.
Just plus that actor, what's his name?
How many fucking great books have been fucked up by Hollywood? Ender's Game.
Starship Troopers.
Starship Troopers is fucking
Troopers.
fucked up.
Yeah.
That was mangled.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Yeah.
The Red Line was weird. I don't know if it was bad. Heart of Darkness.
Dude, yeah. But
with Trippy.
I will say this. Heart of Darkness, I bought it because when I was going through this grade of like, hey, I gotta friggin' start being well read. That book is horseshit. It's one of the worst fucking books to read with that.
Wait, and I think a lot of postmodern books are built on loose premises that sound interesting and they don't flesh out in the end. I think that's why, what's his name? Philip K. Dick does well. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? It's like, here's half an idea.
I don't fucking know, dude.
How does that work out? It's like,
I got questions too, man.
Yeah, my job. Yeah. My names are when I wrote the damn thing. Like,
oh God.
But do they?
Dude, I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know, man. Better question. Do androids come? Answer me that, Philip K. Dick.
Yes.
Answer me that.
Yes. Paycheck. Or Minority Report. But if there's this trippy AI shit they're doing now. They're talking about these headbands and like brain management.
Yes,
it's so fucked up. It's like Minority Report, where basically they can go, hey Paul, we're gonna fire you because your brain hasn't been efficient and you've been thinking about your coworker. And they can put it on algorithms and say, yeah, this is what you're dwelling on. You're less efficient. Dude,
it's some crazy shit. Paul, please come in. Sit down. Let us audit your thoughts. Me. Paul.
There's something wrong with the receiver. It's just blank.
Paul,
huh?
you have 3.5 hours logged of penis, monkey, penis, penis, monkey, penis. Please explain.
See, first you got the monkey, and it's got this.
Well, we know that they have a penis, right? Yes.
It's going to be 8 hours straight of Joe Biden earlobe conspiracy. They were attached, and now they're not attached. I think it's a body double.
Yeah, dude,
it's just a really bad clone.
Like, I wish we lived in a world that had such like evil conspiracies. but we don't. We really don't.
Right?
We really don't. I really do.
It's a different place.
Ideally, somebody bumps into him hard enough on public TV that it jars off his robot motions and sensors and servos, and you see a spark come out, and then like his head falls off, and it's just a small, tiny creosote inside a meat puppet. He's like, "Oh no! Oh, get me off stage left!"
Did I get the ice cream code? No, Joe.
Hey, the earlobe conspiracy is pretty legit, though.
Jesus fucking Christ!
It's disturbingly legit.
Yeah, that one has me worried now.
I don't know.
We'll add that one to the list, just like I'm going to be added to a list. Yeah,
we're all
two can play that game.
We're on. The list. Yeah, all of us. We're all on a fucking list.
Yeah.
What do you think got us on the list, though? Like Paul, like what do you think got Paul on the list?
I think I don't know the first
Telegram.
I would say the first season of Security Halt. Yeah.
I feel like most of us made the list before that happened.
Nope. I think once we start putting
we kept pretty fucking quiet until the first season of Security Halt.
Once we decided to put this shit out in the ether, that's when like somebody was like, "Wow,
no man,
this is fucked."
Season 1 was a smoke screen. Yeah. You know when you're going to move to contact, but you need a distraction, so you pop smoke and you throw it out there to give some cover, so you can get on the ground. We were just poop and cum jokes for a season straight. Star Wars poop and cum, and everybody was like, "Fuck these guys! I don't know what they're talking about." And then we're like, and they're like, "Whoa, pull that guy back! What did he just say?"
Now that they're gone, we can really talk.
Monkeys!
You know what we need? We need Alex Jones on this show.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think we can afford him.
Of all the crazy things he said.
I think he can't afford to say no right now.
I think we got him over a fiscal barrel with a shotgun.
His price is going to be very steep. $1 billion.
It's getting...
I think Sandy Hook guaranteed we can get him.
Sandy Hook on a daily basis. Oh.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's got to hook up his ass. That's
Alex. We'll be sending an invitation your way.
Paul will bring the weed.
What's that?
The most professional.
Paul will bring the weed.
What I always found interesting though was the what's that? It's not that place where they all worship Moloch, the owl god. What's that place he snuck into with that journalist?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just the brain's not bringing it up.
God damn it.
We'll have to edit this because it's going to be a lot of until it's properly.
Bohemian Grove. That's what it is.
Bohemian Grove,
and everybody thought it was bullshit. Everybody thought it was bullshit until that journalist was like, no, we snuck in and this is the real thing.
Yeah, 100%. We did it.
Yeah.
And depending on what you want to believe in worldview, like I mean, I'm Moloch. It's definitely an entity. So the original practice of Moloch and Baal worship was to burn your firstborn on the hands of an altar to secure your success in life. They have Canaanite houses from Israelites where there's mummified babies in jars because they would sacrifice them and you put it in your home and it would bless your house. Totally fucked up. Yeah, dude. And so there's the argument from my side of the world that would say, hey, the abortion industry is straight Moloch worship. Like it's the same thing. It's to guarantee your success. It's to guarantee your wealth. It's to guarantee your benefit. And there, I'm not saying everybody has that when they go into it, but that's what you're feeding. And the craziest side of it is you have the Satanic Church right now is trying to start ritual baby sacrifice as an abortion practice to protect it under a religious right in New York and say, hey, you can't tell us we can't abort because it's part of our religious practice. And the thing that gets me is I feel like a large portion of the world is going to be like, nah, it's just a fucking joke. And I'm like, like at some point you have to realize you're looking for a pill to take to at least dumb yourself down and be like, oh yeah, that's what this is. Like you're chasing something that at some point you just gotta, Occam's razor, right? Shit is what it is, man. Like you got to pause and go, is it really that like, yeah, man, People aren't great.
No.
We're not great people. Like,
yeah, no, my whole thing is, we keep pushing the envelope of crazy things. We're like, nah, that's nah. And it's like pretty soon we're all going to be fucking eating Soylent Green in our fucking, in our homeless fucking apocalypse vehicles.
I didn't watch that shit, but what you had they had the Grammys.
Oh
thing,
yeah,
right?
Sam Smith.
And then you
Sam
had
Smith,
the Super Bowl thing.
Yeah.
I didn't watch any of that. People are like, it's just a show. Dude, watch the what is the Commonwealth Games? Watch that intro. Watch that whole Tower of Babel thing. What was the Swiss Mountain Pass they opened up from like 2016? Dude, like there's some shady shit going on, and you can be like, oh, that's what it is. I'll dig that up. But it's all like it's very paganistic, traditional. Yeah,
it's so crazy.
But dude, it's nuts, and I don't know why people are like, oh, this isn't. I don't know, man. Again, it's what it is. It's just it's not. Maybe it's just. I don't know.
I think we're in unprecedented times, but at the very least, we have knowledge and the ability to say, hey, just don't take things too serious. Keep eating your Soylent Green and washing it down with your cockroach
mud water.
Mud water.
We are not sponsored yet.
Yeah.
Fuck mud water. I do want to plug Life Cycle mushrooms.
Okay.
Very good.
Ooh. Listening. I want to learn about mushrooms.
Not those type of mushrooms.
Oh, sorry.
Gothard Tunnel, by the way. That's the Gothard Tunnel opening is the. I don't know how to link.
What's
stuff
the name? Gothard Tunnel.
Gothard Tunnel ceremony.
June of 2016.
Yeah, man.
That's pretty legit.
And they called that like the tunnel through hell or something like that. Like there's some weird traditional element to the whole thing.
Bizarre stage show opens 35-mile rail tunnel under Swiss Alps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So again, you can burn whatever you want to.
What the fuck?
There's a dude I watched called. Yeah, dude. Like it's not even okay. And these are the same guys that just welcome. They just have that. Dude, they're okay. Like again, I love you guys. I have a weird worldview. So there's like biblical language for things that you'll see. And it's weird, and part of it could just be people messing with people. But that statue they just added to the UN, it's the crazy, weird rainbow leopard thing with wings. So they talk about in Daniel 7 and in Revelation 13, they talk about a winged beast that looks like a lion, and they like sure as shit made a beast that looks like a lion, and they're like, oh, it looks like a rainbow leopard is what it looks like. But either you're just trolling a specific community or you're going hardcore certain way.
Yeah, that's what the fuck?
But, yeah, dude. And it's like it's blatant, right? And you can talk about the occult in Hollywood, and they'll talk about those stupid eye covering shit they do and everything. I mean,
everybody's calling it the end times beast.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you read the lines about it that were written 2,000 years ago,
do you want me to hype Paul up?
The Daniel,
yes.
Were those the original lines written 2,000 years ago, or the ones that were just reprinted 2 weeks ago in a new version of the Bible?
So it goes all the way back to Daniel, which supersedes.
Is it the original Daniel that was not written by King James?
Yeah, dude. No, it like King James is such a whack thing, and the people that get stuck on a King James,
in ancient times,
are like, oh, you got to read
the Babylonians.
Search. How many versions of the Bible are there?
44.
No. So the craziest thing about that is like, so any document is considered accurate based off. It's like the spacing of when the oldest to the newest that we have, right? And how consistent did it say? And so, Epic of Gilgamesh, right? So you have that captured, and then you have recreations later. And how accurate is the translation based off of what changed in that? Beowulf can say the same thing. You found a 100 years old copy in a thing in England. So New King James, I can't remember, there's a codex they did not use for New King James. And that's kind of the super uber conservative. This is the thing. If you don't read New King James, I don't agree with that at all. Actually, they came up with a codex, but it's based off of the Dead Sea Scrolls, because the Dead Sea Scrolls they found matched copies that they had word for word verbatim, handwritten modern day. So what they try and say is, okay, well, how much did this document change in however many years? And these Dead Sea Scrolls are kicked back to Babylonian, I think, exile right around that time frame, and they're accurate. It's like line for line, word for word. It's not like dressed up shit. It has nothing to do with King James. King James dicked it all up, man. Like, I think that was oversimplification, over commercialization of whatever. But they just missed aspects, and now you have this really uber religious movement to hold on to that, and they'll say like, oh, if it's not King James, it's not anything. There's a crazy, depending worldview. Like, if you believe that book, right? If you believe, then that book is alive and it is spiritually inspired, right? It is a holy thing. If that is true, then it must be accurate that the God of that book can maintain the message consistently over time, or he's not a God. So when people are like, you lost all the meaning. Okay, maybe, but you actually have physical documents that prove you didn't, that the words stayed the same. And if the physical document's accurate and this being is who he says he is, then he should have the power to influence that. If he doesn't, if random Bob at the print shop can fuck it all up for a million years,
fucking
then
Bob.
He's not a god. It's just not possible.
Yeah. I'm excited to see the...
Be careful when Googling that one. There's a lot of stupid people out there.
Dude, there's so many stupid... Oh, wait. This Monkey Works guy, right? So he's former Air Force dude. He's on YouTube, does some prophetic stuff, but he does a lot of Air Force knowledge shit, and he tracks flights constantly, and he has some kind of access. He's on YouTube talking about it, so it's as safe as you want to make it. But he talks about tracking drones and the ability drones have to not just collect information, but send information. And the argument that a drone could come to your computer and push 100 gigs of CPU on your shit, and you get busted the next day. And that's his argument. But he watches these flight patterns, and he'll see them just go 360 above a building and be like, it's something about when they're flying, they're live, they have a mission. And once they start circling, they're locked into a satellite and they're just patrolling. And he's like, at that point, they're sending information. And he did shit when like they did when they checked Trump's storage shit, he was tracking flights that way. And it's like, yep, they're sending information right now. Like it's wild, dude. Like, I wish I knew more about it. I don't. So I think it's fairly harmless to talk about it. If people fact check it.
Watch this. I'll tell you the truth right now about drones.
The truth.
Yeah. They're controlled by the lizard people. Fact check that.
Fuck yeah.
Tell me they're not.
Tell me they're not. Tell me I'm wrong.
Kick-ass?
You see, drone technology was given to us by the Lizard King. Okay.
Which we received at the Bohemian Grove.
That's right. Greg and I we were Ultra Boys,
the great
at Bohemian Grove. And,
every second Thursday.
It's what we do, and that's how we get access to the inside knowledge. Oh yeah,
and they mean altered boys. They were girls.
Well, I don't do anything compromising. Boys. I always just pass it off to Greg, and he is happy to oblige. I mean,
That's why I hide in the middle of nowhere.
You thought that Jizz Skater thing?
No, that's my nickname in the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
Biopic.
Oh, there's been a great episode of nothing but segues and random chats, which is exactly what we needed after this wonderful week hiatus.
Sounds just like my birth.
I was there. It was not an immaculate conception. We went hard in the paint, son.
It was a mess everywhere. Where do you think you got the idea for the cummy?
That's actually where the original idea of Deep Impact came from. The story was slightly changed. Slightly. The waves, it was actually cum.
Greg, myself, and Paul were actually in a medical.
We are lizard people.
Paul and I went so hard in the paint with Miss Varon that till this day we can't
call her
actually,
Miss.
we can't actually
she's not
figure
a
out
miss.
who the father is. We believe that Greg is part Paul and part Denny. And man,
If bring a time out, if my dad actually listens to this, I know you're actually my father. Okay. I love you, Dad.
Oh God. Oh.
I was two, then it would open up so many other questions.
Actually, Greg was created after a weekend in Tegucigalpa, Honduras. Paul and I were searching for hidden gold, and we stumbled upon a shaman. The shaman cursed us with a being made half of me and half of Paul. And this small creature came from my anus, and his name was Greg. And that's Greg's origin story. He was our.
Is this why my penis is two different colors, split right down the middle?
That was a botched circumcision.
See, it's the oracle. He has spoken.
It's the chosen one.
For those that are not actually able to see it, Denny's camera just straight took a shit.
It just fell.
It just fell and took a shit.
I have a shitty tripod.
And for those of you that also can't see it, looking at Greg's dick, it's a botched circumcision.
It's weird to explain. Okay, it's like somebody took the hot dog and split it down the middle.
Do you guys want to see it?
And then rolled it back onto itself. And then kind of like just stapled the skin back.
It's like the turtlenecks.
It's actually why I got into tattooing. I'm trying to color match so I can just make it all one color.
It's kind of peas. It's like he's squirting.
It's more of a ball pouch than a hoodie. I don't know how they did that.
It just balloons out.
Looks like a killer whale, man.
If you're looking for amazing aromatherapy products, head on over to securityhalt.com, go to our store website, and get yourself some calming cedar or some
soothing schmegma.
Some soothing lavender, French lavender. Security Halt's proudly sponsored by the Taliban.
New Taliban. God damn, that was loud.
When your country is looking for the leadership it that desperately needs, look no further than the Taliban.
I just realized ISIS has the best leadership model of anybody in the world right now. They just get a new guy, put a hat on, and wait 6 months, and somebody kills him. I think we need the same thing here.
Lastly, I'd like to leave you with the wonderful words of our vice president. In closing, school buses. School buses have wheels, and they go round and round. They deliver children and homeless people around town.
And I take that personally.
From all of us at Security Halt, I wish you a very merry
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah, happy Valentine's Day, guys.
Yeah.
And in the words of Arnold, please let this be a normal field trip.
We're going straight in your anus.
Straight up your ass. You're not coming on this trip.
That was the field trip they did. Ever seen how they inseminate a heifer?
This Frizzle, the bus is not even shrinking down.
No.
Yeah,
Can
I
we
know.
salmon come again? Yay!
They did that. Yeah.
There's probably an investigation we need to do at PBS.
What the fuck were you thinking, PBS?
Yeah. That's why hentai is so big now, because of PBS. Arthur, like friggin' hard farts.
Yeah.
The frizz.
And every tentacle porn I watch, I think of it.
Okay.
Clifford the Big Red.
You thought the episode was over. Now we're talking about tentacle porn.
How did Miss Frizzle teach female
This is the stinger.
anatomy?
This is the stinger.
She put that bitch in autopilot mode and took the bus to downtown.
I hope that's how she did it.
Yeah.
With the frizz, it's the only way.
But she didn't fully shrink the bus down, right?
Oh no. Just right down to the side.
Miss Frizzle, why is the bus vibrating? Shut up, kids.
Hey, I need you kids to just get all rowdy.
Please, I can't do this if I hear your voices. Just please shut up.
Not you, Arnold. You keep singing.
No, don't sing. I want to hear you cry.
Thank y'all for joining us. If we're not canceled next week, tune in. Well, we're not done yet, guys. We need your help to raise $10,000 in order to help our great friend Tim Molesky save his forge. That's right. Go to the episode right now and click the link to GoFundMe and go donate some money. I love you.